This is Paul, and for the next half hour, I'll be reading from the Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. These are articles from July 28th, 2026. The first article, Buffalo AKG, that's the Albright Knox Gunderson Art Museum, appoints Jillian Jones as Executive Director, Kathleen Chafee as Artistic Director. New co-leadership roles expand institutional capacity for the future. The Buffalo AKG Art Museum has appointed a new leadership team to steward the 164-year-old Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art. Chief Curator Kathleen Chafee has been appointed Artistic Director, and Deputy Director Jillian Jones has been appointed Executive Director. Starting November 1, the two will set the museum's course for its next evolution, as it further deepens its artistic impact, strengthens its civic impact, and builds upon its growing national and international reputation. According to the museum, this hiring coincides with a new strategic plan to position the arts institution as an agile, innovative, and globally engaged cultural institution grounded in artistic excellence and financial stability. Together, Jones and Chafee bring more than 3 decades of museum leadership experience and nearly 25 years of combined service to the Buffalo AKG. It is interesting to note that Cornelia Bentley Sage Quinton served as the museum's director from October 1910 to June 1924. She was the first female director of a major art museum in the United States. Now, 100 years later, we are seeing 2 women surfacing as the museum's newest art visionaries, as current director John, that's Janne Searin, concludes his tenure. The board saw an opportunity to embrace a leadership model as ambitious as the museum itself and as forward-looking as the moments demand, said board president Alice F. Jacobs. Over the past 12 years, Jillian Jones and Kathleen Chafee have each had a transformative impact on this institution. The talent we needed was already here. Together, Jillian Jones as executive director and Kathleen Chafee as artistic director bring a bold, shared vision for the Buffalo AKG's next chapter, and we could not be more excited about where this will take us, according to board president Alice Jacobs. It is an extraordinary privilege to serve as executive director at this pivotal moment in the museum's history, said Jillian Jones. At a time when it is increasingly easy to retreat into familiar perspectives, museums invite us to remain curious, embrace complexity, and encounter one another with openness. Artists make those moments possible. Our responsibility is to create the conditions in which their work can flourish and continue to challenge, and inspire. I am excited to work alongside Kathleen, our board, and our exceptional staff to build on this momentum, while ensuring the Buffalo AKG continues to lead through artistic excellence, cultural leadership, and a spirit of innovation. Great museums inherit extraordinary histories. Their responsibility, however, is always to the future, said Kathleen Chafee. The Buffalo AKG has earned its place among the world's leading museums through generations of artists, staff, trustees, and supporters who have shaped this institution with imagination, dedication, and generosity. To build on their work alongside Jillian and our colleagues across the museum is an honor and a profound responsibility. My hope is that we continue to surprise people through the arts we champion and the conversations and their work that is made possible through their efforts. I look forward to what the next generation of artists and audiences will ask of us, she says. About the co-directors from the Buffalo AKG Art Museum. Kathleen Chafee has a PhD, joined the Buffalo AKG Art Museum in 2014, and served as Charles Balbridge Chief Curator since 2017, before being appointed Artistic Director. Throughout her career, Chafee has built collections, cultivated long-term partnerships with artists and their estates, and advanced scholarship and public engagement through exhibitions and publications, strengthening museums as enduring stewards of the artist's work and cultural legacy. Since joining the Buffalo AKG, Chafee has overseen the museum's artistic program through one of its most transformative periods in its history, including the museum's OMA designed expansion and reopening in 2023. She directed planning for the landmark reinstallation of the collection, which featured major site-specific commissions, and has helped strengthen the museum's renowned collection of modern and contemporary art through strategic acquisitions, transformative gifts, and long-term collection planning. Chafee oversees the Buffalo AKG's stewardship of the Marisol estate, including more than 700 works, the artist's archives, library, and copyright. Under her leadership, the museum has developed a sustained program of exhibitions, publications, and research that has established the Buffalo AKG as the center for the study of Marisol's work. Her broader engagement with museums, artist estates, and cultural philanthropy includes participation in the Aspen Institute's 2025 Seminar on Strategy for Artist-Endowed Foundation Leaders. Continuing the Buffalo AKG's long-standing commitment to living artists, Chafee has organized numerous exhibitions marking artists' first U.S. museum surveys, major retrospectives, and significant new commissions. Recent projects included Marisol, a retrospective, Stanley Whitney, How High the Moon, and Stanley Whitney, the Italian Paintings, an official collateral exhibition of the 59th Venice Biennale. Before joining the Buffalo AKG, Chafee served as Horace W. Goldsmith Assistant Curator of Modern and Contemporary Art at the Yale University Art Gallery, and previously held curatorial positions at the Museum of Modern Art and the Cleveland Museum of Art. She received her PhD from the Institute of Fine Arts, New York University, and her MA from the University of London. Chafee is a 2026 Fellow of the Center for Curatorial Leadership and a former Fulbright Fellow and VIA Art Fund Curatorial Fellow. Jillian Jones. Jillian Jones joined the Buffalo AKG in 2015. Prior to her appointment as Deputy Director in 2023, Jones served as Director of Advancement, the Buffalo AKG's Chief Fundraising Officer. In this capacity, Jones worked closely with the Peggy Pierce Elfin Director and the Board President, led the museum's historic $230 million capital campaign, the largest such campaign for a cultural institution in the history of Western New York. Beyond fundraising, Jones served on the museum's senior leadership team throughout the planning, design, and realization of the Buffalo's AKG campus transformation, and helped to shape the institution's physical and operational future. As Deputy Director, Jones has been responsible for the management of the Buffalo AKG's general business operations and other key museum initiatives, including project implementation, strategic planning, equity and diversity, accessibility, and sustainability. Prior to joining the Buffalo AKG, Jones served in leadership roles on the philanthropy team at the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts. She received her MA in Museum Studies with a concentration in Public Administration from the George Washington University. Jones has represented the Buffalo AKG nationally and internationally through lectures and conferences on museum leadership, institutional transformation, and mission-driven revenue models. In 2021, Jones was named one of Buffalo Business's first 40 under 40, and in 2025 included in Empower 200 Women. She is a member of the Art Museum Development Association and volunteers for the Western New York Women's Foundation. The next article is titled, So Long Luigi's Family Bakery Building. The Luigi's Family Bakery Building is on its way down. In a Buffalo Rising Post in February, we announced that the site at the southwest corner of Forest and West Avenues would soon be home to a new $12 million, 5-story medical complex by the Neighborhood Health Center. For over 50 years, the bakery would make Italian cookies, pastry hearts, bear claws, donuts, and bread, among other delicacies. At the height of their artisanal production, they would produce over 1,000 loaves of bread a day and would routinely handcraft over 6,000 loaves, that's 3 tons, of bread in the shape of traditional symbols such as a shepherd's head, fish, and canes in advance of St. Joseph's Day. After the passing of one of its owners, Luigi's Family Bakery closed its doors in 2022. Carmina Wood Design has plans for the building, which includes 39,000 square feet of space to accommodate expanded healthcare services. Exterior materials would consist of precast concrete block, fiber cement panels, and aluminum accents. The project will add 12 parking spaces to the existing parking lot that will connect the new and existing building. The Preservation Board recommended denial of the Luigi's building in October. According to Carmina Wood Morris, the structure has been long vacant and is in serious compromised condition. It poses an ongoing safety concern to both the public and adjacent properties. The New York State Historic Preservation Office determined the building would not be eligible for historic designation. And that's the end of that article. Our next article from Buffalo Rising, big deal. HSBC expanding in the Larkin District. HSBC is taking additional office space in the Larkin District, adding to its existing presence in the neighborhood at the Larkin U building. The new space is expected to open in early 2027 and reflects the bank's continued and deepening commitment to Western New York, where HSBC employs more than 1,000 people. Buffalo is home to teams serving clients across wealth management, private banking, and corporate and institutional banking, and serves as the dollar clearinghouse for HSBC's global network. The new space at the Exchange Building, 726 Exchange Street, spans approximately 31,000 square feet on the 10th floor under a 10-year lease and will accommodate up to 200 employees. It joins HSBC's existing 65,000 square feet at the Larkin U building, located at 239 Van Rensselaer Street, bringing the bank's total Buffalo footprint to approximately 96,000 square feet, a 45% increase in office space. After selling its atrium building to Douglas Development and consolidating its local workforce into offices on Walden Avenue in Depew, HSBC returned to the city in 2024, moving into the Larkin U building, taking space that Key Bank had vacated. HSBC's decision to expand its footprint in Buffalo is a major vote of confidence in our city, our workforce, and our future, said Mayor Sean Ryan. This investment builds on the momentum we are seeing across the city. More workers, more investment, and more activity in neighborhoods like Larkinville strengthen our local economy and help position Buffalo for continued growth. We're proud that HSBC continues to choose Buffalo, and we look forward to building on this momentum as we attract more jobs and investment in our city. Together, the two sites will house teams across HSBC's two core U.S. business lines, international wealth and premier banking, and corporate and institutional banking, as well as significant technology and operations workforce that supports the bank's U.S. and global functions. Buffalo serves as HSBC's global U.S. dollar clearinghouse. In 2025 alone, HSBC Buffalo's operation managed more than $128 trillion in payment flows, connecting financial institutions and businesses across more than 50 countries to the global financial system. Buffalo has been a part of HSBC's U.S. story for a long time, and opening this additional space reflects the confidence we have in this city and this team, said Jason Henderson, CEO, HSBC US. He continues, Buffalo is a key location for us, supporting clients, critical operations, and international connectivity. We're investing here because we believe when our colleagues have the right environment, they do their best work. And that's the end of that article. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Our next article, 2026 Erie County calls for art, small artworks. It's not every day that Erie County sends out a call for art, especially for small works. This is a wonderful opportunity for artists to sell their original works and to have those works on public view. This past July 20th, the County of Erie, Arts and Public Places, announced the parameters for this unusual call for art that would ultimately be installed at the Buffalo Convention Center. From there, the works of art may end up traveling around Erie County to government offices, libraries, community centers, etc. According to the interest of this opportunity, the submitted works can be in any medium, which really opens the doors to any and all artists to participate. Plus, artists are free to submit up to 3 works of art in varying sizes. It is interesting to note that this is the second time an opportunity of this nature has come to pass. The 2025 Small Works Public Arts Collection is currently on display at the Buffalo Convention Center. And that's the end of that article. Our next article, Coming Home. Christine Schoenhart, appointed Director of Buffalo and Erie County Public Library. The library's Board of Trustees announced today the appointment of Christine Schoenhart as Library Director effective early August 2026. Schoenhart, a Western New York native, joins Buffalo's oldest cultural institution from the Brooklyn Public Library, where she has served as Deputy Chief Librarian. The appointment follows a national search and was approved by the Board of Trustees earlier today. Schoenhart brings over 25 years of library leadership to the role. She holds a Master's of Library Science from the University of Buffalo and a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration from Fredonia State University of New York. In addition to her current role at Brooklyn Public Library, she has previously served as Director of Brooklyn Central Library, the King County Library System in Washington State, Boston Public Library, and the Gleason Public Library in Massachusetts. The board chair, Carmina, welcomed the appointment. On behalf of our board, we are thrilled to welcome Christine Schoenhart to lead the Buffalo and Erie County Public Libraries. Schoenhart offers the strategic expertise and operational excellence we sought and the community-minded spirit of our North Star to remain always profoundly public. During her tenure at the Brooklyn Central Library, Schoenhart was instrumental in starting high-profile initiatives that drew national attention and demonstrated her commitment to continuing to make libraries accessible and to keeping programming culturally relevant. In 2022, the library relaunched its vinyl record collection, bringing back a beloved program that allowed cardholders to borrow from a curated collection of 400 albums spanning hip-hop, jazz, rock, country, and more, with in-library turntables stations for on-site listening. Buffalo's library launched a similar program last year. Brooklyn Central Library also hosted the Book of HOV, an immersive exhibition celebrating Jay-Z's life and career in honor of hip-hop's 50th anniversary. And funded entirely by Jay-Z's Rock Nation, the exhibition featured rare photos, memorabilia, original recordings, and a replica of his recording studio, and was free and open to the public. The exhibition, paired with the release of 13 limited edition Jay-Z album artwork library cards, resulted in 14,000 new library memberships. Schoenhardt will assume the role of permanent director in early August 2026, succeeding interim director Dorinda Darden, who was appointed last spring following the illness and passing of library director John Spears. After a period of loss and transition, the library is excited to welcome a new chapter for the People's Cultural Institution in Buffalo, according to the library board director. We are confident Christine Schoenhardt will not only meet this momentum of transformation for our communities and libraries, but also will be a trusted voice and advocate against troubling organized challenges to the free access of information. The Board of Trustees is grateful to librarian Dorinda Darden, whose steady leadership and more than 30 years of experience helped to move our mission forward while steering staff through extraordinary circumstances. Established in 1836, Buffalo and Erie County Public Library is Buffalo's oldest cultural institution, serving more than 2.35 million visitors annually through 37 branches and mobile services. In 2025, every dollar invested in the library returned $4.24 in community benefits, totaling over $131 million in value. Our next article from Buffalo Rising, this is dated July 22nd, 2026. Done deal. Buffalo's Diocese Main and Goodell properties. On Monday, the Krog Group purchased the first two pieces of the Diocese of Buffalo's Catholic Center campus on Main Street. Krog's Main Burton LLC purchased a parking lot at 814 Main and a former roller rink turned warehouse garage at 821 Main for $1.84 million. On Tuesday, Greenleaf's Properties Greenleaf's Courier LLC purchased property at 785, 815, and 819 Main for $2.76 million. In May, Krog and Greenleaf outbid Brooklyn-based affordable housing developer BFC Partners with a $4.6 million offer for all of the diocese's former Courier Express properties. BFC was planning affordable housing for the site. Krog has not revealed its plans for the parking lots. Greenleaf told the Buffalo News that it plans to convert the Courier Express building into 55 to 60 market-rate apartments. While working on conversion plans, Greenleaf will try to lease the building for offices. The diocese has consolidated its offices into the two-story building at 801 Main Street, formerly occupied by Walsh Insurance, which moved to the Larkin District last year. The diocese has agreed to lease the 801 Main Street space for 3 years. Krog is familiar with the neighborhood. Last year, it completed the $115 million Trico building apartments immediately east of the diocese properties. Trico includes 242 apartments, 60,000 square feet of commercial space, and enclosed heated parking for 240 cars. Greenleaf has completed work nearby as well. The firm's Bosch Lofts project created 2,000 square feet of commercial space and 23 apartments at 916 and 918 Main Street. And that's the end of that article. The next article, Opportunity Knocks, historic Schreiber Brewing Company complex with Anchor Brewery tenant. There's an interesting proposition at hand on the city's east side. John Dorms Jr., owner of the building complex that was once home to Schreiber Brewing Company, is selling the historic site. But don't worry, his plans to sell to an investor that will keep his brewery, the Buffalo Brewing Company, operational within the building. While Dorms wants to continue brewing beer, he doesn't want to own the complex any longer. He's in the process of looking for an investor that understands and appreciates the importance of having a brewery operator on site and who also has the right vision, resources, and fortitude to take on a significant and sweeping adaptive reuse project with an anchor tenant in place. As for the status of the project to date, the goal has always been to create a destination based on the historic operational nature of the site. Down the road, the vision is for the building to house Buffalo Brewing Company's expanded brewing and distribution activities, along with a museum space that celebrates the brewing history of Western New York, a flexible commercial space, and residential apartments. Buffalo Brewing Company is currently operating out of a newer part of the building and has development plans that include architectural renderings, construction costs, and revenue projects. Potential buyers can check out a mapped out development strategy, potential timelines, designs and drawings, financing opportunities, and financial projections, as well as historical records. This is a fantastic opportunity for the city's East Side preservationists, beer lovers, and others who want to see the city further evolve into a world-renowned, culturally diverse destination. From real estate's listing, it is described located at 662 Fillmore, which was originally built as the Schreiber Brewery at the turn of the 20th century. Today, it is still a brewery owned and operated by the Buffalo Brewing Company. The Buffalo Brewing Company is currently operating out of a newer part of the building and its development plans as well. The project includes millions of dollars in historic tax credits and brownfield remediation tax credits, while being in an opportunity zone. The Buffalo Brewing Company would lease back the first floor, while the plan also includes 14 apartments and parking. The listed price is $699,900. It is located along the Polonia Trail, 662 Fillmore Avenue in Buffalo, New York. You have been listening to a reading of articles and features from Buffalo Rising. We read from Buffalo Rising on Fridays at 8:30 a.m. Your reader has been Paul. Thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service with broadcast studios at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga. Radio readings are broadcast 24 hours a day, every day, to area people who are blind or have a print disability. This year, our agency marks almost 40 years on the air with more than 300,000 hours of radio readings to those without sight. Our broadcast signal is provided at no charge by WNED. The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service website is nfradioreading.org. For more information, call 716-821-5555. Good morning. Welcome to another broadcast day in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, a private not-for-profit organization. As always, please feel free to contact us with your comments, suggestions, or with any questions you may have. Our phone number here is area code 716-821-5555. As always, please stay with us. I'll read the Buffalo News, and we'll be coming up in just a moment.
The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or another print disability that makes reading, holding